Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Welcome to Two Lines. And we're going to be running some laps tonight. Maybe if we get organized enough, we'll run a race. But we tend to just run laps until it's almost too late. So, and I will not, just warning, I will not be going 2 hours tonight like last week. That was a long live stream. I didn't mean for it to be that long, but who do we got in the chat? Dave. Welcome, Dave. Welcome to Fingers. John, good to have you. Gerbear, glad you're here. John Tucci. Slot Cars of Atlanta. We got some action in the chat early on. In theory, you could wire 2 Carrera flashing light chips into the guide and wire only one of them to the motor. That would give you 4 flashing, 4 front, and 2 back plugs. Dave is obviously, his thought about this. John Albright, hello all. Rumor has it there may be some racing tonight and that Dusty Ford is feeling confident enough to open up a can of whoop-ass. Yeah, we need to knock him down a notch, John. That's why we need you here, man. You or Daryl. Who else do we have in the chat? Hey, Chris is here. Let's see. Nick V, welcome. Good to have you. HSF, welcome. Thanks, guys, for coming. Yeah, I think, hey, Shotgun Dave. Yeah, I think we'll do a little bit of racing tonight. Show some laps. I actually have the race cam set up, and there's the view. There's the view. That's not a bad view of the track. I really cannot complain about that. You guys should be able to see the lap. That text will be bigger when we are actually racing because it moves into a horizontal configuration. And so, yeah. Yep. That's what we'll do. So John Mark's back there doing some laps. Dusty is wrenching on one of his cars. It looks like Dusty has moved the slot car corner annex over here. And there's parts everywhere on the table. I don't know if there's any parts left at slot car corner. He may have ordered them all. Daryl is in the house. Hey, Daryl. Chris, welcome. What did Daryl say? Dave from my side of the pond. Good video. Let's see here. What else? Hey, George is in the house. Hey, George. So last night, George did a live stream. And he started off with, it looked like some pre-recorded stuff. And then he said, hey, thanks for tuning in. Go have fun racing. And I turned it off. And then I get a notification from YouTube like a half an hour later that he was ending the live stream. And so I missed out on all the live stuff last night. So I had to go back and rewatch it. But George, great stuff, man. The whole resin printing is super fascinating. You're doing a great job. Thank you for doing that. It's been fun to watch. I really don't need to invest in anything else. So I'm going to stay away from it and let the smart people do all the 3D printing. But Pistol Pete is in the house. Chris Freder is in the house. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Daniel, what's up, brother? Hey, Doug. Hey, Bryce. All the regulars. Gary Dunmore is here tonight. B2 is here. Dojo is here. What's up, Ronan? Macho Man. Yeah, we got some. Yeah, well, we're a couple minutes in, and geez, we got almost 60 people in already. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Hey, Ben, welcome. Nobody's home. One of our winners of last week's, yeah. So Paul, for those who you don't know, that's Nobody's Home's name. Paul was one of our winners and should be getting that any day now. So the TT1A Tire Truer. Yep, we are hat tonight. I'm getting a haircut on Thursday, so we'll be back to gel next week after I get my haircut. Hey, James. Good to have you. So tonight, a couple things to talk about. a couple weeks ago, I think I missed it, Bruce at CincySlots released the classes we're going to be racing this fall. And right now we're prepping cars already for the Nationals race in Michigan in November. And we were just having a conversation about that, but we're already thinking about what cars to run this year. And you would think that I have all the cars and all the classes covered, but yet we were just talking about buying another Group 5 car from Sideways because there's some great new liveries. And now we have the Escort. So what Group 5 and Can-Am is the first month. Both races will be analog, and then we'll have a digital class, which we're gonna have to break down and buy digital cars and get them tuned for the digital racing at CincySlots. So Bruce, if you're out there, we'll have to do that this year instead of skip out on the digital racing. So we apologize. It is late, but Charles, welcome. Hobbit Racing is in the house. What's up? Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, John. Let's go back to that. The race cam. That's not a bad view of the track. The problem I run into is the track is 26, almost 20, 26 feet long, because I've got an extension, about a foot extension on both ends of the 24-foot table. And that's hard to get all in one camera shot. So I feel like that view right there is pretty good. John Mark is running the Thunder slot. I can even see that in the camera to tell what he's running. That's a Thunder slot Ferrari. Great running car. John Mark, we even tuned that thing yet? No, that thing's running good. Just some silicones on it and off to the races. Yeah, he doesn't work on cars. Need a pit cam. That's right. George, hang on, George. Wait, hang on. George says we need a pit cam. I might be able to take care of that, George. Let's see. Hold on. Give me a second. Let's go to default. Let's go to new scene. And we're going to call this the pit cam. The pit cam. And here it is. There's the pit cam. See, look at all those parts over there. The pit cam. Plus there's more. All right. Let me see if I can set this up so that we can keep an eye out on Dusty over there, see if he's breaking any rules. I'm following rules. Oh, that's not going to work. Rule follower. He is a rule follower. So there we go. There you go, George. Ask and you shall receive. The pit cam. What else have we got going on? Let's see. Tell John Mark to clean those tires. That's what Daryl said. I probably should talk about some of the things that I did do. I installed and wired up, finally, instead of running off 9-volt batteries, I wired up our the prototype tire truers, the TT1As from Nap. And so now I've got them 2 stations in between the drivers so that each driver shares a tire cleaner, and it's working out pretty good, I think. But I wired them up, so all we have to do is turn on a power supply, and we're good to go. And so I think what I'll do is I'll put a third, the old tire cleaner over here in my cubby, whatever we want to call that, the pit driver station or whatever. So that's what we're going to work on. But yeah, that was really handy. I'm hosting a race in October The NSR Nationals guys from Ohio that are prepping and ready. They're kind of traveling around and practicing at different tracks just to see how the cars perform in different types of layouts. And they're going to come up here in October. And I was trying to get all these things in order. So I'm cleaning on one of the other rooms to create pit space in the room next door, and where the oval track is. And since it's Carrera, I'm going to pull that down and put it back up once we start building on the scratch build stuff. But for this race, it'll come down. And then I wired those in. I did, thanks to Greg. Greg wanted me to stiffen that bridge, and I finally got to that. And that really changed. I don't know, Dusty ran under 5 seconds, a couple laps. I think that a lot of it has to do with just stiffening up that bridge. You can get a little extra speed going across it. So it's been fun working on that. Greg says, I gave Dusty ideas for more parts on Saturday. Well, yeah, he ordered them. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Hey, Steve. Yeah, Steve says that the Slot Car Corner has the 125th Showdown chassis in stock again. So I know there were some guys waiting on that, so it's good to see that that's back in stock. The BRS Hobbies has a link to the Tire Truer that we gave away, the Track Pro, but it says that it's sold out. And BRS reached out to me and commented and said they just haven't received their inventory yet, so that's why they're showing sold out, because they can't ship them until they get them. So so you didn't miss out on them. So they will update that. They figure they'll have them on Thursday or Friday. So watch the website. You should be able to pick it up for those who wanted one. So those are not out of stock. We thought they were out of stock, but they actually haven't put the stock out there yet. So they created the link, but he was waiting for the inventory before he updated that. So you still have a shot. And I put that on the post on Facebook too, so people know. What else? Racing in the Bat Cave tonight. Yes, John Mark shared that we did have to deal with a bat tonight, which is crazy because it's probably been in the house for the last 3 or 4 days and I didn't know it. The basement door was open most of the day on Saturday, and we're in the downtown. And that's right. That's right. The Batman had a slot car track. So when I got down here, I was cleaning off the table and make sure Dusty's pit space was cleaned off, and I grabbed the can of paint, and it was furry. And I don't like bats, so I kind of flipped out for a second, and then I knocked it into a tub. And I told Dusty I'm not sure what all went in, but we'll wait till the bat leaves the tub that's sitting in the backyard before I go collect all the stuff there's probably slot cars in it. There's probably cans of paint. There's probably staple gun, hammer. Who knows what else fell in there. I just, one fail swoop, pushed it off into the tub, threw the lid on it, and carried it outside. And wasn't going to tell my wife until Dusty walked in. And I was like, I better spill the beans so she knows, in case we have another one. Hey, Raul. Thanks for joining, man. Good to have you. Oscar says, there is nothing George can't do. Hey, Oscar, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Good to have you. Thanks for joining in the chat. And you're right, George. He is a master of many things. Yeah, congratulations, Paul. Dojo winners, coffee. Tire Truers is what it was. Should be Thursday. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, I haven't checked the tracking just to make sure, but I thought it was either going to be Thursday or Friday. So, Raul, hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for joining. Greg is here, Clearwater. You'll have classes covered, but you'll always be adding to the fleet with all the new ideas for tuning. So, yeah, so that's what I was going to do is, do I have a browser? Let me go to the Cincy slot page. So let's see here. Browser. All right. Oh, there's the browser. And I will. Oh, I guess I can leave that up there. That's not hurting anything, is it? All right. So if I come down here on the sidebar of CincySlots, first, this is the newest items added to Bruce. Just a plug for Bruce. Bruce is a great friend of the channel and just a all around good dude. I'm just gonna kill that so it looks cleaner. And there we go. How's that? Nope, that didn't. Ooh, that was not good. What happened? Okay. So this is the new stuff that's always listed. And if I recognize some of these cars are Dahi's cars from DNA, if I'm not mistaken. But Bruce does have the new Carrera bus. It's not a van. It is a bus. He has the new Jägermeister, the M1. That's cool. He has the new Thunder slots. He has the new Skyline from Sideways, which is cool. The Falcon, that's a good looking livery. But if you scroll down, Thursday night race night, here's the schedule. So this is what we're looking at for this year. In October, we're running vintage, which would be anything that like run at Le Mans. So GT40s, all of the Thunder slots qualify. The slotted Can-Am cars, the NSR Can-Am cars. So what you'll see in that class is a lot of Thunder slot Elvas. You'll see probably this new Ferrari, since it's really quick. You'll probably see some 908s, NSR, Porsche 908s, 917s. It's a chance guys get to really enjoy some of these classic Can-Am cars that we love to race. And then the other class will be the Group 5. Everyone runs a Sideways. You could run a Carrera Group 5. You could run, I don't know if Slotted has any Group 5s. But anyway, you could run any of those, but everybody runs Sideways. That is a really fun class. So October is going to be a fantastic month. And then in November, we'll run Group C. That'll be Slotted Group C in the side in a inline configuration. Pretty much running silicones every week. That's what the track rules are. So Group C, and then the digital race will be 130 at DTM, 132nd scale. December, we'll be running Polycar F1, so I will need to get a Polycar F1. So, Dusty, did you realize that we need to order Polycar F1s? I don't really want to either. So we could take the month of December off. No, there's guys in the chat, I'm sure, that they love the Polycar F1s. I know George loves them. We don't have any, so we're going to have to pick up one, get it tuned up. So we got till December. And then we'll 124 GT cars. So I don't know. I've got 124 DTM, but I don't have 124 GT. So there'll be a Carrera in my future. January will be Revo Slot Group 2, which is the class that all of us are looking forward to again. This time we'll have some Datsuns in the running. Speaking of Datsun, I have a Datsun I haven't even opened. I should do something with that car. And then the digital in December will be January will be 132nd GT. So those will be Carrera cars, which is cool to run those. And digital is chaos at CincySlots. So, and then we've got February, the modified Trans Am, which is a class that I did not want to like, but I've grown to love it. It is a fun competitive class. Nobody can touch Bruce's Challenger. It is really, really fast. And then March we've got the Revo Slot GT and NSR GT, so 2 analog to close. So that's the that. What is going on? So that is. There we go. Gosh, I couldn't find. It wouldn't change. Yeah. The 91710. So Dusty's been tuning on his 91710. He's got it down to 5 flat. If he can keep it in the slot, we'll be. Oh, that wasn't you. Okay. Buzzkill, welcome. How hard is it to tune digital cars? That's a good question. They're Carrera cars, whether they're digital or analog, there's not a lot you can do to them. But they are the best digital cars because they are tough as nails. I mean, we've done some damage to some of them, but it's taken a lot. Like it's hit the floor. This is a concrete floor. But from a tuning standpoint, you can true the tires. You can change the tires. You can true the fronts. You can put some magnets in them. That's how we used to think tuning was just more magnet. The more magnet, the better. Back then, but we've come a long way. But I wouldn't say that it's hard. There's just not a ton you can do. There's not a lot of adjustments. You can't adjust the front end. You can't. I think one of the best things you can do is throw a slot invasion guide in the Carrera car. That's an easy swap out. I mean, you don't even have to change the braids. You just snap it in, and that is a big performance. Just talking about helping the car stay in the slot. That is a upgrade I've done to every Carrera car that I have. And the rules at CincySlots allow that, which is cool. Because everybody sees the advantage of that versus the stock Carrera. It's a better fitting, just performs a lot better. But from that, Slaughter says the new green sideways Group 5 Escort, come to daddy. Dave, that's a good looking car, man. That's a good looking car. We agree. Digital hurts slots and helps trains. Macho Man, I don't know if it hurts slots. I think it creates a cool environment because of the software. It creates an event or for beginners, it's a great entry point into slot cars. And then you realize there's this whole other world when it comes to other brands and analog. And so I think the natural progression now is people tend to find digital racing first because you can run 6 cars, there's lane changing, there's pit stops, there's all these fun things. But then as they realize, I want the Ferrari. I've always wanted this Ferrari. Well, chipping this is probably not the smartest thing because that's a quick way to destroying it. And we've got proof. I've completely had to rebuild my NSR 908. It's a fun car to drive, but it has no engine parts because everybody rear-ended me, and I rear-ended people, and it just took a beating. And so that's really the big thing is digital. I think you can chip any car you want, pretty much. But yeah, if there's a car you really love, it's probably not the smart thing to do, which is where the tech slot box and the axle box, and those you can do both. And I think that's the beauty of it. And that's what's fun about this hobby is there's something for everyone. And not everyone has to like the same thing. And we're all okay with that. So, but hopefully that helps. But the tuning the digital cars, there's just for a Carrera car, it's all about traction and getting those rear tires trued and the wheels trued. Lube everything up, and you should be pretty competitive. RW53, good evening. Gerber, unfortunately, digital is all your club runs. At least you have a club nearby that you can race, right? Maybe they need to hook up with Alex and get an Ultra 4 axle box so they can actually change the track over from digital to analog and let some people run analog. But I get it. If the hobby shop and the club sells Carrera cars, and they're gonna work towards that, and that there's nothing wrong with it. Jumbo track, yeah, this track's not gigantic, but I mean it's 26 feet by 8 feet, modified figure 8. It's similar. If I could figure out how to put a short S right here, it would be Suzuka. But that's really not the case. The car's not invisible. Nice angle. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, let me throw it back over to the race cam, so you guys can actually see what's going on the track. Daryl says needs all new slot cars. My old ones are slow. At least that's what you're telling your wife. That's good. Good stuff. What else do we have? He needs more parts. Oh, speaking of, let's go to the pit cam. There's there he is. He's over there tuning on the pit cam. Sorry, Dust. He's trying to focus. What Dusty building another car? He's putting offset bushings in his Corvette. Trying to get that thing lower to the ground. Get a little more mag effect out of that long can motor. Daryl, my philosophy, Dojo says Dusty Vision. That's what the pit cam is, Dusty Vision. My philosophy is that if you have enough parts, you don't have enough cars. John Albright, what? No bourbon in the pits? It's a dry track. We're dry here in the basement. Hey, Steve. Welcome. Hey, Gary Driscoll. Good to have you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, rubber tires not so dependent on clean track. I know. John Albright gives us a hard time about running silicones, but the reason why we run silicones here is because the club we run at runs silicones. And so it doesn't make sense to have two different sets. So we tune to go run at the club. So we run the same thing. But if that ever changes, we would probably, make a decision there. What else do we have? That's funny, George. I mean, I think rubber tires do like a clean track. I just don't think it has to be like tack cloth clean, probably. I don't know. The secret mission of this traveling series is to help you get your first official race at your track. And it worked. That's right. It's, I don't know. So here's where my personality really shows up. My obsessive compulsive. I don't want a bunch of people over here if my track's not really finished and ready. And so putting something on the calendar finally has forced me to do all these little jobs that I've been wanting to do for months, and I haven't taken the time to do it. And every time Dusty and John Mark show up, I was like, well, I wanted to get to this week, but I never made it. Well, this week, that's not the case. So Bourbon is a great trigger finger conditioner. Dusty has a hip flask so Marty's channel doesn't get a PG rating. Drink roast coffee. That's right. Our buddies at Roast. I wonder if Dusty got any bourbon in Kentucky on Saturday. Yes, the answer is yes. Gerber, I am all out of Maker's Mark bourbon. Need to cancel everything till further notice. Hey, collection, welcome. Windsor, Vermont. Steve, that's about 14 hours from my house. That's a long drive. Oh, they're just little pups with wings. But Tony, I do not like bats, man. It's a long story, but I just don't like them. Hey, Gerardo, what's up, man? Patrick is in the house. Patrick. Oops. Patrick. There we go, buddy. It's looking good. We'll do some racing here in a little bit. It's 8:30 now. I won't wait too late. But good to have him. Bruce should be in the Bat Cave. That's right. Bruce should be. Greg, okay, my view has reverted to the old style with the like buttons under the viewing screen instead of above the contents. Oh, on YouTube? That's weird, Greg. I have not noticed that. Chris, no, he just was downsizing. Dahi is in a bunch of different hobbies. He has a big aquarium and has tropical fish. He has trains. And they're remodeling the room. I think that he had his track in, and so basically, I think he told Sasha, we're gonna pare down the collection, and you pick out what you want to keep, and then we're gonna kind of sell off some others, just so they can fund probably some other hobbies. And I think with school and everything, Sasha's so busy that they felt like the YouTube channel was really, I'm not sure she was loving it. So, and you know what? She's a kid. Let her be a kid. And I think that's what they decided, that they'll come back to it when they have time and she has the energy to do it. So the kid should still race, though, because she's got a good trigger finger. So, but yeah, nothing wrong there, Chris. Everything's fine. They're still doing great. Get the Ferrari one. Let's see, George, I missed what you're talking about. Oh, 3D printable. Gotcha. What else? Yeah, the Group 2 is a great class. Last year was the first time we've ever done it. Like a lot of tracks across the world. And I think everybody found out just how much fun that class is. John Albright, man, I'm really behind on Polycar F1. Oh, yeah. Yeah, John, I might need to talk to you about the Polycar F1. I need to order one. Obviously, I've got a little bit of time. George, let's see, George. Hang on, George. George just texted me. Let's see here. Yeah, George just sent me that's a beauty. Order the Ferrari one. Now I'm tracking with you, George. That might have to be the one I get. Those gold wheels look great on that. I love Slot Invasion Guide on Carrera cars. Yeah, Gerber, you can't beat them. They're great. DJ Patrick is in the house. I like the digital cars because they have the head and tail lights, but I run analog only. There's light kits you can put in analog cars. I've got a couple videos. We've had some fun with those. They look great, easy to install, a lot of fun. Let's see here. Radman, new guy here. Just want to say I'm an HR guy myself because I love them HO. Yeah, man. Everyone is welcome here. Radman, thanks for joining. I'm on the verge of ordering a few HO cars myself to try. I've been talking to Steve, BS, brother and sister channel, and we've been talking a little bit of back and forth and some comments about running HO and 1/43rd scale. And so maybe a couple Carrera goes just to have some fun. Might be one of my next things. Slot R is running as Marcos. Now, Dave, I wasn't going to. I need to go back to the track. Sorry, guys. There you go. The Marcos is obviously like this week's most popular car. Yeah, Gerber, you're right. In theory, digital sounds great, and it is fun. But you just have to understand that you're probably going to tear up your cars. And so that's why I think you just stick with the Carrera car as your digital cars and just run those, because they're really made to be able to take that beating. My NSR cars won't take that beating. My Thunder Slot cars won't take that beating. So that's really the difference. Marcos is my cousin, man. Daryl. So I'm gonna probably have to order one. I've got a shopping cart built for like the last 2 weeks, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on anything. And there is one in there. I like the STP, but that seems to be the most popular livery. So there'll probably be a bunch of people that have the STP car. So I really like the Elf car. I'm watching you guys race in the screen. That's funny. Hey, Todd, welcome. The pit bar, that's right. Greg, yeah, we got to keep track of Dusty, make sure he's not cheating over there. That's why we installed the camera. The Marcos is a bullfrog on steroids that grows on you like a like a pleasant word. So, Steve, that's kind of typical. It looks like 41 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. So I must have made somebody. So it wasn't John Marcus time. Greg, a dry track. For the most part, Greg. Hey, Steven. What's up, brother? Thomas. My hometown, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. We drive down through there, Thomas, when we head to Nashville. Well, Steve, you guys, it sounds like you guys had a great time on Saturday. Yep. Thanks for coming out. Sorry I missed it. I actually had to work in the morning, and yeah, work's been kind of crazy, but hopefully this week we take care of that. Hopefully I get somebody hired and we'll go from there. But everybody's getting faster. That's right. Especially guys who are racing your cars. They're all getting faster. Grandson of man, welcome. Oh, look out, trouble is here. Hey, Dahi. Hey, Dahi. Chris was asking why you had sold some of your stuff. I just told him that everything's good. So I got him caught up. You're in good shape. Daryl, thanks for letting us crash on your track Saturday. Man, if anybody has not seen Steve's track, go back. I don't usually try to promote my own video stuff, but I did a breakdown video, just like a tour of his track. It's Brown Bison Raceway, and it is one of the nicest Carrera tracks you will ever see. It's fantastic. It really is. And he's got a beautiful place and is just a very gracious person to allow guys to come and race and have a lot of fun. So we are bringing home the gold, silver, and bronze this year. Let's just keep telling ourselves that. There's some fast dudes at that race. All right, what else do we have? I'm looking for any questions, hopefully. What else? Anything else here I'm missing? Let's see. So we talked about CincySlots and I know what I wanted to talk about. So couple things. Dave Kennedy posted a video today talking about the value proposition for Carrera, and I think he's right. For the price, Carrera cars are great. And he puts that similar video out every so often, and I know that they're a huge supporter of his channel, but I know that it comes from a sincere place from Dave, that he really does care about that brand. He worked for them for a while, and so he is right. It is a really awesome. Sorry, I just got a text message. Got somebody hired. Yeah, I just got the text message. That is awesome. So sorry for the distraction, guys. But Dave was talking about just the value of Carrera cars, and I think we all see that, especially from the digital side. You get a chip, like $55 for the car. It is really a great car and a great brand. But I can't tell you the last time I bought a Carrera car. I'll be buying a couple to fill in for this season, because most of my cars are all beat up, and so I might as well start fresh with a new digital car and tear it up down at CincySlots. But the other brands have been putting out so much great stuff that it's really been difficult to break away from all these new cars. I don't know what the exact number of new cars that have been put out in the last year, the last 12 months. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research and see if I can come up with that number, but it's a lot. When you think about all the different liveries and new models and all of that that's been introduced, it's been pretty amazing. So, what else do we have? B2 says it was an expensive week. I purchased several Skeletric F1 cars. They are the Legends Classic model. I'm truly enjoying them. Does anyone have any experience with these? B2, I do not. I do have two of the older Formula One cars that are like heavy magnet cars, and they get around the track really, really quick, and handle really well. But they've got magnets in them. So, so my next thing to talk about that. I was listening to that on the way home in the car, so I wasn't really watching Dave's video. And the next video that popped up was the new track call from Electric Dreams. And it was playing, and my phone was in my pocket, and I really okay, 2 thumbs down. Yes, we're killing it tonight. And I thought that it was interesting. They brought the guy on, and I don't normally watch those because sometimes I don't know who the people are, but this guy was the guy that builds the controllers from Synapse. And so I listened to a little bit of it. I pulled in the driveway, had dinner, and then I did some research. And what a cool controller. It looks like it's kind of like the hot new thing, the Synapse Lite. The other version, it has a big touch screen, and probably it's really for 124 scale racing, the wing cars, I think. But really, it's a pretty expensive controller, but I think that it has a lot of really cool features. One of them is the anti-brake. I've always been very curious about. So I don't know if anybody has seen that. Check them out. But it's really pretty cool. Pretty cool controller. So Home Racing World has a lot of articles and videos on those cars, B2. I was going to ask if anybody had read anything about them. Would not overlook any of the Polycar F1s, especially the BRM for racing. Hint, hint. All right, thanks, John. I picked up 4 Carrera Ghost sets, marketplace, and yard sales. Nice. Jim, I do like the Elf livery. I think the Elf livery is really good. Clearwater, I'm with you. I like those 124s. Let's see here. What Patrick, thanks, man. I'm just trying to improve the experience for people. If we're running laps, I just feel like this is a great view of the track. So, yeah. Oh, and I don't know if anybody has watched Show Me Slots. Pete, his video from last week, he introduced a pit garage that has lights and has a remote control for the garage door, which opens up, which I thought was really pretty cool. He's doing the 3D printing, and I talked to him today. He dropped one in the mail for me to do a review on. And you guys know I'm not a big scenery guy. I like signage, but the only scenery that I have is my magnetic racing light towers. Shout out to Ian and Doug. And then Kevin has supplied, we've gotten a bunch of signage from Kevin at Racetrack Scenics. And I don't know if anybody's been watching Kevin's build, but Kevin is building a great looking wood layout in his garage basement. And has been following that. I've been following that on Facebook, and it looks really, really good. So I'm really excited to see that finished and watch some cars run some laps on it. I don't know if anybody else has caught that footage, but that's really, really, really cool. I watched that one. He makes some good points. Yeah. A critic in every crowd. Hey, Rick. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Gerber, Road America getting hammered by other drivers is a problem. Did anybody watch the IMSA race? I watched a little bit of it. Oh, hey, there's Pete's in here. Hey, Pete. Vin using relays and race coordinator seems intimidating, but it isn't too tough. Oh, yeah. Vin, I missed it. Marty, maybe I should find a 12-year-old to get my track mate to shut a lane down using race coordinator. Vin, what are you trying to do on race coordinator? You're trying to shut a lane down and leave it empty, or for it to just not show up at all? You set that up in the track setting. When you set up your track, you tell it how many lanes. And so I think that if you have 2 lanes or 3 lanes or 4 lanes, I think that information is in the track settings. I'm hoping that I'm answering your question, but if not, then reach out to me. I can launch Race Coordinator and kind of walk through it to see if there's something, if I'm not addressing your question specifically. Pete says using relays and a race coordinator seems intimidating, but it isn't too tough. I'm using Faslaps right now, but I've been using race coordinator, and the sensors and the relays that I use all worked. All I did was have to update the Arduino with the correct code. I bet the next Carrera car Marty buys is the forthcoming green and orange Jägermeister livery. That you might be right, Dave. The VW bus. I think the bus looks great. I know I might have another Thunder slot in the mail. Funny, I'm actually interested in a Carrera M4 GT3 just to find something fun to do with row racing liveried body. Maybe 3D print. Yeah, that would be cool. I might get that as I've got all the others, even though I'm not a collector. Just keep telling yourself that, Dave. I'm not a collector as you continue to buy more and more cars. Nope, not a collector. Definitely not. In analog. Yeah, you should be able to turn a lane off, but it's in the track setup. So you basically, if you have a 4-lane track and you want to run 3 lanes and get it to ignore the 4th lane, I think you just create a 3-lane track. And it'll just use lanes 1, 2, and 3. In Faslaps, it's super easy. You basically, when you go to the race, you choose what lanes you want to be involved, and it's as simple as eliminating one of the lanes. It's actually super easy to do. Once Patrick showed me how to do it. John Albright, I think digital, the power thing is to run the switches also. Yeah, I don't know that the switches use that much power, but I'm sure there's a little bit of draw. I love my NSR and Revos, but I do buy a lot of Carreras. They are really nice models and can be fun racing against each other. Oh, yeah, Greg, definitely. Yep. Race them against each other, and everybody will be happy. I even like running the magless, but I keep several with mags. Yeah, that never hurts anything. We do the same thing. DK Moon, SCX makes some 143rd scale cars. I think a lot of theirs are rally type cars, but I hear that they're really good. But I don't know of anybody else other than SCX and Carrera making 143rd scale. George is going to be there next week to try it out. That's awesome, George. Hopefully you do a video because it would be great to see that. The track looks really, really good. It's got me itching to design another track. Kevin and I talked a little bit back and forth on Saturday because I'd asked about the layout size. So if you are hammering somebody, you get a drive-through penalty or a 10-second stop and go. Road America, that is actually, I think that is a great way to handle penalties, is if you have somebody who is recklessly driving the digital and causing a lot of accidents. Yeah, use the penalty. And if you're using Smart Race has got some, has the ability to penalize that, which is really good. Clearwater, 4 or 6 cars and multiple changers, you need the voltage. Yeah. Pete, Marty, your garage, dude, that's awesome, man. I can't thank you enough. We'll put it on the track. We'll make a big deal about it. It'll be fun. I appreciate it. I won't disappoint you. I promise. Vin, I think I'm confusing everyone. I'm trying to establish an automatic penalty through race coordinator for when somebody deslots. Oh, Vin. Okay. Yep. So I think in race coordinator, you can cause a delay for the relay to stop the power. So as soon as somebody hits the call button, it waits whatever you say to delay. So if the delay is 2 seconds, that you hit the call button and it will allow power to the track for 2 seconds. And I believe that is set up in the track setting. So go back out, go to your track advanced, and then I think the delay is in there, and that's how you create that penalty. And I think that's really the only thing you can do in race coordinator as a penalty. Yep. Shoo. I'm going to have to get some laps in. Dusty is kicking my butt with his Corvette. Oh, there you go. Pete's got it. But I think I just talked you through it. I would check there. I bet if you run magnets, that would require more power also. Yeah, I mean, I think you get more draw, right? Daryl has a question. Why are your tower lights going off and on? They're going off and on because the camera, the iPhone camera, is it's the hertz cycling, I think. And so that's why they fade in and out. It's not really happening in real life. It's the camera. You need 4 relays and an Arduino, but it isn't too tough if you already have separate power supplies for each lane. Yeah, so you can buy an Arduino 4-channel relay, but I think that you can just do, if you're using one relay to control power to all of your lanes, if you just set the delay, it works because the person is out of the slot. They're not advancing any further, and you're allowing everybody else who's still in the slot to go 2 seconds longer on that lap. So I don't think you have to have 4 unless you want to control each lane individually. So then you can create some other types of penalties, right? A lot of places just go, if you're out of the lot, you're out until everyone goes out of the slot, and then everybody gets to come back in. And so that can be very painful if you come out of the slot. Yeah, the Hertz car looks good though. That Scale Auto Hertz livery is really sharp. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate that, Pete. Appreciate you helping. Wasplot do a Carrera guide adapter. I have installed one in my Audi R8 and the Frankenslot guide and removed the magnets and runs amazing. Yeah. I have some lane here. I have these. These are the Slot Invasion. Oscar, who's in the chat, makes these, and these are fantastic. Let me go back to this shot. These are fantastic for Carrera cars, and I keep an inventory of them because anytime I get a new Carrera car, it gets one of those guides, and it's just snap in easy. Clearwater with an 18 to 21 5K 12 volt motor, you can get a Carrera cars to run quite nicely at 12 volts in no mag with tires and a bit of tuning. Yeah, John, that's what I would recommend. If you're going to run no magnets in your Carrera cars, just drop the voltage a little bit down to about 12, and you can get them hooked up and run really, really well. Let's see who else. What else do we have? I thought Dusty was playing with the power supply. Yes, John, that is something I have planned in the future. I have collected a couple motors already. That's cool. Interesting on idea deslotting. Yeah, so Todd, I've seen where if you're racing multiple lanes, so if you're like 4 lanes, 6 lanes, you come out of the slot, you're out until all the other cars come out, and then everybody can come back in. So if you have somebody who doesn't deslot, everybody's just sitting there losing laps. So that'll teach you to drive under control a little bit. The other thing I've seen is penalties, where if you're reckless, you get penalized. If you come out of the slot and they call the track for you, then there's a delay in the power turning off so that everybody gets some extra, half an extra lap before you get put back on. So that's an interesting way to do it. There's lots of different ways people have learned to penalize. Hey, George, thank you for putting the link out there for Oscar. Yeah, go to Slot Invasion USA. They make great products, great guides. They make some nice tools too. They have hop-up kits for Carrera cars. It's all really good stuff. Jamie, hey all, long time no talk. Can't stay, just wanted to say hi. Jamie, thanks, man. Good to see you. We miss you. Hopefully we get to do some racing this fall. What else do we have? Greg says the new 21K motors from LEB run great in Carrera and Nomag. Yeah, I imagine that Cyclone motor is a nice little motor. Probably geared towards Carrera cars would be my guess, sort of to compete against that Piranha motor that we were all upgrading to. But if everybody upgrades to the Piranha motor, it's fine. But if one car upgrades to the Piranha motor and nobody else does, you're not keeping up with that car. It is a big jump in performance compared to Carrera motors. Yes, I'm going to add penalties for pit lane speed and deslotting for race nights soon. Todd, one of the things I've seen people do is put the pit lane. They limit the pit lane voltage. I've not invested anything in to figure out how people are doing that, but they drop the voltage so when you hit the pit lane, it automatically slows your car down, so you have fewer wrecks in the pit lane. So crash and burn. That's right. That's funny. Last man standing is fun as well. Yeah, that's kind of a cool way to do it. We've never really done it here, but that's one way to get people to stay in the slot, right? Collection. That's really interesting about the penalties. Yeah, I mean, I think that different clubs do things different, but from a home racing standpoint, that's actually a really great way to do it, I think. Slap the like button and drink roast coffee. Thanks, Daryl. I appreciate that. Penalties in Smart Race change the whole dynamic. Definitely encourage drivers to be more conservative. Often, if you don't deslot, you win. Pete, yeah, I think that you can do all kinds of things in Smart Race from a penalty standpoint. You can cut the power to a car and change, for a short period of time, I think you can change basically the voltage to the car, like the speed control. And so you can penalize them for that, just like you can penalize somebody for running out of gas. The car runs at 10% until you get back to the pit lane and fill up. That's the fun thing about digital racing, and I think penalties make more sense when you're racing digital than they do for analog for me. Then if you have a track and you don't have a lot of marshals, then I think maybe penalties make a little more sense so that it's a little easier to slow down and marshal instead of having to be super fast at marshaling. Crash and burn is a good tool for teaching not to overdrive the car and keep it in the slot. Yep. Yeah, crash and burn is where basically, you're out. You come out of the slot and you're done. No more racing for you. So that's a tough way to lose. That sounds interesting. I still can't learn that. That's because you are too busy tuning everybody's car. John, you have hit the nail on the head. Daryl's always tuning everybody's car. Marty, I'm running a couple of the new LEB Cyclone motors in NSRs, and I'm really happy with the performance compared to the 21K. That's cool. Yeah, I don't doubt they're not great motors. I think my next LEB order, I'll probably pick up one just to do a little testing. Yeah, it's pretty much one and done, crash and burn. But I've seen where they've modified that to you're off. Everybody stays off until the last car comes out of the slot, and once the last car is out of the slot, then everybody can come back on the track. Hey, Anthony, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. All right, let's get back to the race cam, and you guys have been doing laps. You're ahead of me. It's 9:03. You guys want to see some racing action? Should we run a race? What should we race? The GT cars? Whatever you guys want. John, what do you want to race? You want to race Thunderslots? Dusty, you even bring a Thunderslot? Haven't touched it? All right. You didn't bring your group 2? I've got a couple group 2s. What are you going to run, John Mark? Your Ferrari? Or your Elva? Daryl wants to run Dusty's slowest car. Okay, speaking of that, let's check how things are in the pit cam? The smaller angle wider motor. Okay, Hobbit says race. All right. Would love to see some racing action. Maybe that's why the 2 thumbs down, so we didn't get to racing fast. Yeah, didn't get racing fast enough. So, all right. Mark, you got your car? Yep. Thunder slot. We'll run a race, a thunder slot race, and then we'll run. What else can we run? Did you bring a Revo? No. We could run K&N. I don't think I need to run from over here. All right. So that view, guys, you should be able to see the race screen. Switch microphones. Check 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? I think I might be a little hot. I think is what slot R said I was. I can see I'm peaking. Check 1, 2, 3. How's that sound, guys? Does that sound all right? Somebody let me know. Daryl says I can see him adding magnets in here. Probably should probably wipe down the yellow lane real quick with a rag. Just so that the person who gets those lanes first isn't screwed. Yeah. You can just pull. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you hit it? Okay. You can pull this out. Because we'll rotate.
We run some laps on that.
Okay. Oh, just to see if it's clean? Okay. So let's okay. John Mark. See, Dusty, you were in red. John Mark was in white. So we'll start that way. And then I can Is it good? Seems fairly clean.
Yeah. First couple laps
Was it?
rough.
Yeah. All right. So let's do how long of a heat or stint? A minute and a half?
Yeah, that's one.
Okay. And so looks like let's close practice. Let's create the rate. What tires? 2012? Maybe not. Turn on. Race 1.
There is 1 minute until the start of the next heat.
All right. So you should be in the lane you were just in, like how you're practicing.
How it's practicing.
Yeah. So I'm in yellow.
Yeller.
You can start in front because I've got it ignoring the first, so it needs to go through the gate. So we need to start in front of the Michelin. There you go.
10 seconds till start.
And don't forget you've got the
Well, racers, it's time to get this race started.
you've got the
Heat number 1 is ready to go.
the buttons.
Following racers should be in their lanes and ready to race. Lane 1 Marty. In lane 2 John Mark.
In lane 3, Dusty. Racers, good luck and good racing.
Uh-oh. John Mark.
Did get him.
Yeah, hit the.
The
There you
race
go.
has been tossed.
Did get him too wet.
No, it got hooked on that.
Oh, it's that spot.
It's that spot.
right there that
So
Ferraris.
do I need to sand it maybe? I don't know. We'll work on that.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay racers, we are ready to resume the heat. Start racing at the sound of the tone.
Ooh, losing some power in that turn.
Cincy takes the fastest lap of 5.27 seconds.
Ooh.
Extending the pace here today, and one pace. Top that.
Dusty says the lead lap last time to get 5 minutes.
Oh. Track all.
Racers, the race director has stopped the race.
Good. Yep.
Attention racers, get ready to resume racing. The race will resume in the dome.
Track all.
The race director has paused the race and will restart it momentarily.
All right. 49 seconds left.
Ready?
Attention racers, stand by. The race will resume at the tone.
I like the short, the quick restart.
Yeah.
45 seconds left.
So I've got a lot of announcing on. We can adjust that, but I wanted people to be able to know what was available.
Yeah.
It's probably a little chatty, but
Turning up too fast. And once he said he was at lap 5.185 seconds. That's lap 10 once again by 5.182 seconds.
ooh, got lucky. I'm losing power in that yellow lane.
176, the heat is
The
over.
yellow one.
Yeah.
It starts ticking.
And in first place, Dusty.
It's right over here.
And in third
So it's
place,
over here.
John Mark.
It might be my braids
Heat two will
Well,
begin in 1
my
minute.
other car was ticking in the yellow.
in the yellow.
Going up to there.
Yeah, there's a little separation there, but
All right, so where does?
okay. So 30 seconds later, it'll load the next one. So,
Okay. It just.
so John Mark will go to blue. I'll go to white. No. Hang on. Dusty, you go. I think you go to blue. John Mark goes to white.
I'm on white.
Let's get ready for Heat 2.
Here we go.
If you have not already, bring your
There we go.
cards to the
White,
track now.
red, blue. So John Mark, you are red. Now we have a minute because I've got it automated. So where are you at, Dust?
10 seconds.
Whoa, hang on. 10 seconds. I'll hit the pause.
Racers, start your engines. Heat number 2 is ready to begin. The following racers should be in their lanes and ready to race. In lane 2, Marty.
Lane 3, John Mark. Lane 4, Dusty. Racers, good luck and good racing.
Hang on. You're fine, Dust. You don't have to run.
Hey, we can start without him.
All right. I mean,
Hang on. I don't have my car in.
good. Oh,
Racers, the race director has paused the race.
So I'm in, what am I in? White. Okay. Are you ready? Everybody wear the clean tires where they're going to be?
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Attention racers, get ready to resume racing. The race will resume at the tone.
Oh,
The race director has paused the race.
clean tires.
Momentarily.
I wasn't ready for that.
Make sure I drive.
I'm in white. Thanks. Sorry, John Mark.
Attention racers, get ready to resume racing. The race will resume at the tone.
Woo, just about did it again.
Starting on that turn.
Yeah, that's what I was having the same
5.025 seconds.
thing.
Good job, Marty. Score a clean lap. Marty advances to second place. Marty pulls out from the pack and moves into third place.
Oh,
The race has been paused.
oh, did you get it? Okay. Where you at?
Over here on the corner.
Oh. You are in blue. Yeah, it might be your braids a little bit, John Mark. Mine was doing the same thing in the yellow. He's in blue.
I'll follow it after this. I'll find it.
I fluff him up a little
I
bit.
haven't touched this car.
It's been a while.
Okay, racers, we are ready to resume the heat. Start racing at the sound of the tone. Party sets in.
The race has been paused. Attention racers, get ready to resume racing. The race will resume at the tone.
Racers, 45 seconds are left in this race. We are halfway through. John Mark passes Dusty and moves to second place. Faslaps set once again by Marty at 4.956 seconds.
The race has been paused.
Sorry.
That's all
Attention
right.
racers, get
Dude,
ready
it's
to
been a while
resume
since we've
racing.
done this.
The race will resume at the tone.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I need to put another screen up so we can see the chat. Probably making fun of us for all the offs.
The heat is over.
In first place, Marty. And in second place.
So now Jean Marc to blue. I'm to red.
1 minute. Drivers, you have 1 minute until the start of heat 3. After 2 heats, here are the current standings. Leading the races, Marty Ford.
Second place goes to Dusty Ford. Coming in third place.
Okay, Jean Marc. I got your tires clean. And you are to blue.
Drivers, Bring your cars to the track for
Where am I
heat.
at?
Ready
I
to
don't know
race.
where.
Be yellow or red? Yellow.
Yeah, you're yellow. And then I am red. So yeah, Dusty, you're yellow. Red. John Mark is
10
blue.
seconds till start. We're ready to begin heat number 3. Drivers, grab your controllers and let's get started. On the starting line, we have
Lane 1 Dusty. Lane 3 Marty. Lane 4 John Mark.
racers. Let's have a good clean race. Good luck everyone.
Clean tires. Ooh.
Marty takes the fastest lap of 5.014 seconds. Marty overtakes Dusty and moves into the lead.
Racers, the race director has paused the race.
Are you under the bridge?
No,
Oh, you're
right
right
here,
here.
but I can't.
Of course.
My little T-Rex arms can't reach. Alright.
Okay racers, we are ready to resume the heat. Start racing at the sound of the tone. John Mark advances to second place.
Way to go, John Mark.
Way to go, John Mark.
He advances to second place.
I don't know what you did, John Mark, but they were impressed.
He was
Attention racer, the race has been paused.
well, they're gonna penalize me here. Oh,
Okay racers, we are
All
ready
the
to
penalty
resume
talk.
heat. Start
Oh,
racing at the
penalty
sound of the
talk.
tone.
Oh,
The race director has paused the race. It will restart it momentarily.
lost track of my
he's looking at the wrong car.
Attention racers, stand by. The race will resume at the tone.
You got to get used to that. That's different than what we're used to.
Second place.
No countdown.
Good job,
Yeah.
John Mark. Way to go.
Okay, so the bridge is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good move. If Greg's still watching, Greg and Josh were the ones that recommended I do that. And I didn't think it was too bad, but now that it's fixed, it was bad. And John Mark's bouncing car the last time was really what talked me into fixing it.
The heat is over.
Oh.
And in first place, Marty.
In second place, John Mark. In
So
third
now I
place,
go to blue.
here's 1 minute.
John Mark, you go to,
Seriously?
After 3 heats.
Why am I in
current
second
standings.
place?
that was for the heat.
In first place is
Oh.
Marty Ford. Second place goes to Dusty Ford.
Third place goes to John Mark Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's gotta be in third.
Oops. All right. So now, John Mark, you are in yellow. Have you already cleaned your tires?
Don't worry about
Let's get ready for heat 4.
You need
Not
to.
already. Bring your cars to the
Look how
track.
dirty they are. You're right here. Yellow. Dusty, you cleaned your tires?
Yep.
Okay. I'm in blue, yeah. It'll give us the countdown.
We're ready to begin heat number 4. Drivers, grab your controllers and let's get started. These racers should be in their lanes and ready to go. In lane 1, John Mark.
Lane 2,
This
Dusty.
is kind of nice,
Lane 4, Marty.
but it does slow.
Racers, let's have a good clean race. Good luck everyone.
We'd be skipping all that at the club, but
Yeah.
just because we've got so many racers and
The race director has paused the race.
Well,
We'll
I'm
start
off the track.
momentarily.
I rolled off today.
see, it's got a little bit of
That
incline
I ran
now.
That white
Yeah,
lane.
yeah.
Okay, racers, we are ready to resume the heat.
Especially if you get on your top,
Start racing at the sound.
it'll slide down now. Here you go. Get some rhythm there, Dust.
5.201 seconds.
Dusty takes the fast laps on more time at 5.109 seconds. Dusty scores the fastest lap again at 5.009
White is the
seconds.
fastest.
Yeah, it's definitely a quick lane.
The race director has paused the race. It will restart it momentarily. Attention racers, stand by. The race will resume at the jump. Attention.
Oh, I like how that starts. That's not making you wait. Just speeds up the whole process. Yeah, blue is a little slippery. Not too bad, but... Oh, John Mark.
Yep.
The race director has paused the race.
I was looking for the button.
Attention racers, stand by. The race will resume at the tone. The heat is over.
That was quick.
And in first place, Dusty. And in second place,
This is just the
Marty.
heat, isn't it?
Yeah.
In third place, John Mark. That completes all heats for this race.
So then now,
Hard fought battle. Here are the final
Yeah, that's a hard
results.
fought battle,
And
right?
our leader and first place victor today is Marty Ford.
I'm down
And
7
in second
laps.
place, Dusty Ford. And finally,
you were down 1 lap
place John Mark Hall.
immediately because your car didn't take off. So that's pretty easy.
That blue line killed me.
Yeah, it was probably still dirty. It was still dirty for me, so it was probably even worse.
4.9?
Yeah, in the white lane. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So so in the next version, Patrick was talking about how, like right now, it will roll through this screen and whatever else you can choose what you want it to roll through.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of cool. But all right, it's 9:28. So I will do this.
Practice is on.
I turn practice back on.
And you know
I'll go wrap up the live stream.
practice makes perfect. But racing, practice makes perfect.
There you have it, fellas. Some racing. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I have no idea. Let's see here. I'll catch up with, let's see, where are we at? Crash and burn is a good tool for teaching. Okay, there we go. I was looking for once we started racing. What else do we have? In your settings, your track, can you slow a lane down? Can't you? Yes, Gina, you can. Well, if you're running digital, you can slow, each car down individually. Dan Curry, Marty, I would suggest lowering your microphone by about a foot. Then everyone will be able to hear the other voices and ambient sounds as well. Dan, I meant to grab the other microphone and put it in the middle of the table. That's what I normally do. Sorry about that. I got sidetracked. No guts. Marty Ford isn't racing from his new remote location. John, I'm not going to lie. From that location, it's little. It would help from a marshalling standpoint when we're all racing, and I could just rotate easily from lane to lane. But I still haven't quite figured out some of the corners. So that's a different view. What else do we have? But you're right. I have no guts. Switch to rubber tires and throw away the rags. Prepping a race always takes a few minutes. Yeah, Todd, it was pretty easy to set up though. Commentary is funny. I need to make sure that the pause works during the countdown to the next race. Patrick, that was probably really good for you to see, actually watch a race and then be able to see what was happening and hear what was happening, hopefully. I should have put the microphone in a better location. So sorry, I didn't have really anything to hook it to. But, I guess there's a magnet. I didn't realize it. There's a magnet on it. Next time. Does Marty have any elevation at the last turn into the straight? Yeah, Grandson of Man, this is kind of a corkscrew. So it comes down across the bridge right where Dusty is, and it drops all the way back down to the floor or to the table. So that's like it comes off across the bridge, and it's just one steady decline down into the straight. So yes. Yeah, the elevated part of the table, I just firmed that up. So the bridge was a little spongy going across, and we just kind of been living with it. And I put some plywood underneath that so that it's nice and stiff, and that really changes how quick the cars go across that bridge. And then I did the same thing into this curve right at the bottom left. So I'm just catching up with some of the. Yep, in the bottom. Yep. You are correct, Pete. That's exactly what I did. Spin out Elvis Presley. That's right. Greg. Dusty had me in the first heat. But I spend a lot of time in that white lane, so I get a lot of laps in there. So that's kind of my lane. And it is the quickest lane on the track. Yeah, fingers. Good to have you. Thanks. Looks like I need to put some code in there to prevent Marty from taking all the lane races or the lane records.
It's a home track.
Home track advantage. Okay, so you did see the lane records. So that's it's kind of a vanity stat, but it really is something that like other programs are doing now and that people like to be able to see. And so you can see like who has the fastest lap regardless of what stint they were in and who was quick in each lane. And a lot of times it will be the person that is, setting fast lap in all the lanes. But we noticed in the Electric Dreams race that was not the case. Like Ian Douglas did not own every lap record. He owned half of them. And then I think Todd had one. And then there was another person that had one of the lanes. So that is a really cool. But yeah, Patrick, you could probably fix that so that doesn't happen. Dusty, thanks, Dust. I really had fun watching you guys race. I enjoyed listening to the smart race. So Anthony, that's actually Faslaps. Patrick is the programmer of it. It's a great program. We're enjoying it. I'm really happy with this camera angle. It's actually my iPhone, and I moved that screen so you guys could see like lap times. And I think that because of the race screen is different, it was probably pretty easy. I'll go back and watch the live stream, but just to make sure that it was visible. Until I move to a mixer, I can't insert a video signal into this stream. So unless it's already in the computer, and so I don't have a way to send HDMI into the computer. And so I have to do that with a mixer, and I don't have a mixer. I'm looking at the A10 Mini to be able to possibly do that because I think it would be good to be able to, I don't know, Mike is probably not watching this, but we are probably going to get up there in November for the Nationals race, and it would be great to provide some type of live stream coverage. And I think that's what we hope to do. And so maybe I can talk to him about that. If he's not planning to do live streaming, maybe I can help with that. So anyway, so I've got some stuff to track down, but I think all you need is a face cam to put in the corner of your stream while you're racing. John Albright, Marty, what controller is John Mark using? He is using a DeFalco 302, maybe 301, maybe. It only has sensitivity and brake, and he never messes with the knobs, so they're lost on him. So whatever I left it set at is what he runs.
I don't work on cars. I don't mess on knobs.
So everybody's saying good night, guys. Thanks. I appreciate you for hanging out. I appreciate you watching the race. Hopefully it wasn't too boring tonight. Maybe that's the 2 thumbs down. We just didn't get to racing fast enough. I spent too much time talking. So, but hope you enjoyed that. That was great. Daniel Thomas says having the lap record always visible is an incentive to beat. Well, and I think for people watching, it really is kind of fun to watch those lap records go down, right? Or how long can you keep a lap record, right? So, but guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. It was fun, and go have some fun racing.